communications breakdown between local police and the Secret Service. Alexis McAdams live from our New York City newsroom. You've been following this since July the 13th. This new video really seems to paint a picture where local police had told the Secret Service what was necessary, and their calls went unheeded.
Yeah, John, it's interesting to hear that local officer saying, hey, I told them to put somebody on this rooftop, but as we know, there were no Secret Service agents up there, just the gunmen. So we want to show you some new footage, though. It was released yesterday, but I was just combing through it and found a new clip. It actually shows a person up on that rooftop at 6:08 p.m. So we want to show you here. Take a look. The officer is like 300 yards back, John, from where the person is on that rooftop, but we're going to zoom in there and you can see that red circle. That is a person up there. That would have been around the exact same time the investigator said Thomas Crooks was up there, but we didn't even see this yesterday because it's kind of far out, and I don't even know if this officer knew this was on his body camera because it would have been up here at his chest, so a chest view. But very interesting as this all continues to play out here. We want to also show you what's on your screen right now is the moments happening right after the shooting. You can hear the cops talking about what went horribly wrong. One officer saying he told the Secret Service, secure that roof.
This is a sorry, not sure which gas company. Somebody why were we not on the roof? Why weren't we? I told them they need to post the guys over here. I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told them to post guys over here. What? No, we're inside. Alpha 1, Bravo 1. I told them to guys over here.
Unreal. So check this out. 30 seconds, John, before this gunman opens fire. One officer had a chance to stop this entire thing. The shooter, stop that shooter. The local officer was boosted up by another cop. You can kind of see it here. They tried to get up on the rooftop. That's when he says he saw the armed 20-year-old up there. So he dropped down. Then the gunman started shooting. The officer says the gunman was laying down on his stomach, armed with an AR.
He's laying down. He's on RX. Next building over. Right after the gap. He's got glasses, long hair. Leave a ladder. Climb the wall. Got a problem in my head right in front of him, bro. He's got a book bag. He's got mag. AR.
Yeah, they had a hard time getting up there, John, but the gunman didn't. In one video, you can hear the officers discussing how they spotted the shooter earlier in the day, saying he was creeping people out, but hey, they lost track of him. So we're now learning more about just how much training this gunman had. According to new records we just got from Senator Chuck Grassley's office this afternoon, Thomas Crooks visited a local gun range nearly 50 times in the past year, including another time one day before the attempted assassination. Overall, he spent 80% of his time at the range practicing his rifle shooting, John.
Really makes you wonder how many times in the past this went on. It's just that there wasn't somebody there who's trying to take a shot at the president.
Right.
There's going to be a reckoning here, I think. Alexis, thank you so much for the latest report. Great reporting. Sandra?
Okay, John, let's bring in former FBI special agent and Fox News contributor Nicole Parker. I'm sure we look at that video, all of us do, in a different way. How did you see it? What does it tell you?
The more evidence that comes out, Sandra, the more egregious these failures are. And as a former FBI agent, I look at this and it's disgusting, frankly. That local officer warned the Secret Service in the Tuesday meeting. It's on the body cam footage with the audio, and he says, I told them you put someone up on the roof. I would like to understand who specifically at the Secret Service did they tell this to? Was it the lead side agent? And why did they not heed the advice of the locals? As a federal officer, you need to listen to the recommendations and heed the locals' recommendations because they know the community, they know the sites best, and they know what they're talking about. I hate to say this, but several federal agents are quite arrogant and they almost think that they're better sometimes than the locals. I wouldn't say that for all of them because I myself always heeded them, and those that I worked with, we heeded the locals. But this was a massive communication breakdown. They said you need to cover this. They didn't cover it. Who is the lead side agent out of the Pittsburgh field office? Who wrote the operations plan? Who signed off on that operations plan in their chain of command? Those are the people that need to start answering some questions, and there must be accountability.
I want to play this one more time. This is the body cam video with the officer screaming, rightly so, that he had told the Secret Service about that building. Watch.
I told them they need to post the guys over here. I told them that the Secret Service. I told them that Tuesday. I told him to post guys over here. What? No, we're inside. Alpha 1, Bravo 1. I told him to post guys over here.
Just brutal if that was the case. And to your point, shouldn't have been missed in the first place by the Secret Service, I guess is the answer. This was how Ronald Rowe answered for this last week in that hearing room. Nicole, listen.
It even just affirms to me that this was a failure. We should have had better protection for the protectee. We should have had better coverage on that roof line. We should have had at least some other set of eyes from the Secret Service point of view covering that. That building was very close to that outer perimeter, and we should have had more of a presence.
You know, which was leading to Americans losing faith in the Secret Service, Nicole. Just 31% in this latest AP NORC poll say they're extremely or very confident that the Secret Service can protect presidential candidates, while 72% say that the Secret Service is moderately responsible for this assassination attempt. Nicole, final thought.
Final thought, again, laziness, incompetence, gross negligence by anyone in a position of authority, especially when you're being tasked to protect someone, is unacceptable. And in law enforcement, it costs people's lives. And unfortunately, there is a civilian that is now dead. Thankfully, President Trump's life was spared. But again, the failures keep coming out more and more, and this cannot happen ever again.
Nicole, always good to have you on. Thank you very much for joining us on that. All right.
Thank you.
John?
All right, we saw that body cam footage. Now body cam